Good day, plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we are going to one of the more premier Dallas plant nurseries, Ruibals. This one is in the heart of downtown Dallas, so I haven't been at this location for quite a while. It's been about a year or so. So we're going to go ahead and check out what plants they have at Ruibals. What I will tell you is Ruibals has several locations in the DFW market. I visited the very small location off of Lemon Avenue, but this is their flagship nursery right over here. So we're just going to take a look and see what kind of plants they have. This is going to be a two-part video. So we're going to look at the greenhouse and then the Ruibals inside with all of the other stylish plants and planters. But as you can see, as we walk up, it is winter in Dallas, and you can see all of the ornamental kale and chard being sold over here. We have a sago palm right over here, some kind of hanging basket over there. And it is a little bit cold today, and a little bit gloomy, so maybe plants will brighten up the day. I also wanted to say thank you to everybody that has tuned into my plant videos, my plant shopping videos. I try to at least get you 2 daily videos every day at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Sometimes I'm a little bit late on the 9 a.m. premiere, but I do encourage everybody to go to those premieres and possibly get on the chat, because I will be on the chat as well to answer any questions and to engage with all of you guys. So I really appreciate it. But anyways, we are about to walk into this beautiful nursery. It's open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And as you can see, there are huge Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. Look at this line over here. This is already stunning. So if you like hanging baskets, you should totally go to Ruibals. I love that. I'm actually in a hunt for a hanging basket today, so we may end up picking one up. But as you can see, there's already a sea of pothos, and then we have some marantha right over here. And you already know, I can see that there is an aglaonema, and it's actually fairly large pink aglaonema. I love pink plants, and this one is for $39.99. It doesn't have a plant ID for it, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what type of aglaonema it is. All I know is this: it's gorgeous, and among all of the green plants, you can see that the pink foliage just really sticks out. Like I said again, I'm very tempted to pick up this aglaonema, but I have so many plants I've already added into my collection that I need to really back off to see what plants I need to get it for the future. But you can see there are lots of hanging baskets right over here. We have some fairly large anthuriums right over here in bloom as well. Really gorgeous. And I'm just soaking in all of this greenery, all of this natural, greenery around me. And it's really good for anybody who sometimes struggles with stresses of just everyday life to go to a plant nursery like Ruibals and just window shop. You don't necessarily have to buy plants. You could just look at all of this greenery. Look at this. Absolutely stunning. It's just a sea of marantha right over here. We have some golden pothos, and then we have a really beautiful ficus umbellata in the middle of that sea of golden pothos. You can kind of pretend that the golden pothos is like ground cover in a jungle, but I have been talking about ficus umbellata and possibly adding that to my collection. I might do it once I get the lighting situation down at my home. And then right over here, we have a philodendron, I believe is a black cardinal. That's a really pretty looking plant. I'm in the hunt for a philodendron Florida bronze, which is a cross between Florida green and the cardinal. So, we'll see if I can find one today. Then we have some hanging baskets, ferns. We have some more hanging baskets over here. We have a ton of ZZ plants right over here. And we're just gonna walk around, but this is also like a miniature jungle. I don't know. Have you guys visited the Ruibals location? For anybody in the DFW market, what do you guys think? And we have some hanging baskets with some spider plants. I always find those cute. For me, spider plants are actually a little bit difficult to grow, or at least in the past, they tend to have like browning leaves. I don't know if it's the water I'm giving it or what, but it's really cute to propagate their little offshoots that they shoot out. I mean, sometimes some people have gone into plant nurseries and like snipped one. I mean, I haven't done that per se, but I've heard folks getting like free plants that way. That's kind of crazy, but again, do you? And then let's see what else we have over here. I don't know. There's just a lot of green greenery right here. We have some pothos. We have some of that philodendron black cardinal. I love, dark leaf plants. Look at this golden pothos just trailing down. I would say it is a good 6 feet hanging from the ceiling. I might actually get me a hanging basket today. We'll see. But what else do we have over here? We have some fern, hanging fern in the background. We have a bunch of Sansevieria as well. That's a Sayuri. And we have another Sansevieria right here. Some Ficus Taniki right here. These are really good quality ones. I like the variegation. Taniki is one of my favorite Ficus elastica. And this one is a Ficus elastica Audrey. I have one growing in my backyard that I've neglected, and I really need to be bringing it inside because temperatures have been dipping down to like 30 degrees in Dallas, North Dallas, and for some reason it is still living. So right over here we have some very fully matured Monstera Thai constellations. So a lot of nurseries are starting to carry a lot of Thai constellations, and even the bigger nurseries like this are now carrying really large specimens. So I find that interesting. And I remember about 3 years ago, I imported a Monstera Thai constellation. It was like a 2-leaf cutting with a little bit of root for like $200. And mine is bigger than this one. So like I'm proud that I was able to grow a fairly large Monstera Thai constellation. And this one is a hefty price as well. But hey, if you want instant gratification, you can always go to like places like Ruibal, the nursery, or even go to Plant Keeper Inc., which is also in downtown Dallas. But we're looking at another philodendron pink princess. So the thing about philodendron pink princess, this is a really large philodendron pink princess. Doesn't really have high variegation, but I feel like this isn't one of those tissue culture ones. I really think this one's the ones that have been grown out. And then we have some kind of, I think that is a philodendron ring of fire that I was panning in. But you can see how large and tall this philodendron pink princess is. It doesn't really have a lot of variegation, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful plant. I love the dark maroon colors of the philodendron pink princess. I have a couple of cuttings that I'm actually propagating in water, hoping to create a larger, thicker plant for my moss pole. But this one is another Monstera Thai constellation. Beautiful plant right over here. I think at this point, if you have a mature Thai constellation, the risk of root rot is lessened because then you can just you don't have to water it as much. You can actually just let the aerial roots get a lot of the nutrients to feed the plant. But on the side, we have a Ficus elastica shiveriana. So this is a prime example of, let's see how much it is. Was it $24.99? This is a prime example of a plant that if you hold off for a while, like a couple of years, it goes down. I remember like a 1-leaf, 1-node cutting was selling for like $300. And to me, that is insane. Like there's no reason to be spending that kind of money. I almost got myself in a trap for that, and I'm glad I didn't. We have a mahogany tree right over here for $28.99. Beautiful, and it's a braided one. I saw some really large specimens of that. They almost remind me of like a mature version of a Syngonium. And then you can see in the background, look at how beautiful those hanging baskets are. Can you imagine having like a bunch of hanging baskets in your home? I mean, I just don't have time or like the space to really put a lot of hanging baskets. I might get one though today, so we'll see. And then we have another Alocasia poly right over here. That's beautiful. I talked about this in my last video, but I do want to add some Alocasia. I just need to make sure that the humidity and the lighting conditions are good. I have 3 variegated ones growing and they're doing well so far. But that's a beautiful plant. Let's see what else we have here. We have a bunch of like cacti and succulents. We have some philodendron birkin. I love philodendron birkin just because look at the electrifying stripes of variegation here. And I'm glad that it's still a plant that's readily available. I'm in the hunt for a variegated philodendron birkin since I just recently added one from that Leaf Joy H2O Proven Winners from Home Depot. I thought that was really cool. And no, I am not going to add a beta fish in there. I got a lot of comments about, that's animal cruelty. I just thought the idea was cool, but I knew better than to do that. So Everybody calm down. I'm not putting a betta fish with in that bowl. But we have a peperomia watermelon here. Look at how beautiful the plant is. I used to have one of those. I ended up killing it. I don't know why. I didn't really overwater it, so I don't know. But look at this beautiful begonia. Look at this right here. And this one has a plant ID as well. So begonias are another plant that I would like to add into my collection. Like, look at this one. I prefer those like ghostly, faint, lavender, pink begonias. I think they're absolutely stunning. It's just that I struggle with maybe the watering. I'm not sure, but my grandmother, she is an expert when it comes to begonia. Then we have a Stromanthe Triostar. We have a Homalamena. Oh, I said it right. Homalamena, Shelby. That's really cool. I think it's $29.99. So I would, if I'm going to buy one, I would buy it at Lowe's. This one is a Stromanthe Triostar. This is a classic plant. It's finicky, however. I used to have a really large one that was in like a 10-gallon pot, but I ended up killing it as well. It just didn't get the humidity, and I think it got some spider mites. But we have some more hanging baskets right over here. So that's the thing I like about Ruibals, is they do present their plants in a really nice way as well. There's a lot of styling around it. Look at these large birds of paradise. I can't grow birds of paradise because they basically need direct sunlight. They need so much sun that I don't really have that to provide. Although I have a lot of windows, east-facing windows, that gives a lot of morning sunlight. We have some more larger. This is the Stromanthe Triostar that I ended up getting. Actually, that's the size of it that I had about 2 to 3 years ago that I bought from Ruibal. So I'm glad that they still have those readily available. And we have some large ZZ plants right over here. More ZZ plants. So that's the thing about Dallas and Premier Plant Nurseries in Dallas. We have a large selection to choose from, but I would tell you Ruibals is one of the best places to go, alongside with like Plant Keeper Inc. I'm going to be visiting Nicholson Hardy today as well and doing a plant blog on that, so you guys check that out. But look at this beautiful large aglaonema. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Again, I kind of want to add that to my collection, but I probably need to hold off on adding large plants to my home. Have you guys ever just caught yourself like buying plants and then not really thinking about what your space is going to look like, and then all of a sudden you look at your home and it's just hundreds and hundreds of plants? I just don't want to get into that whole situation where I have hundreds of plants but I don't have all of the time to take care of them, to maintain the pests. Then, you know, I would get discouraged. But take a look at this. I'm thinking this is a Aglaonema ruby. Look at the beautiful pink veining, the pink stems. And again, if you haven't added an aglaonema in your plant collection, I highly suggest it. They bring you a lot of joy, or at least bring me a lot of joy. That large aglaonema is $44.99, so that's actually really not bad for that large of a specimen. And then this is a really cool plant as well for $24.99. I like plants with great foliage, and I noticed that they were clipping some of the brown leaves or some of the brown edging of those leaves. So I like that Ruibals does maintain their plants and their presentation. There are so many healthy plants. I haven't seen any plants that are like unhealthy or have any pest issues. So that's a really good sign that this is a great plant nursery to shop at. We also have, you know, I have to go pan back out here and look at these green marantha. I want to get the red marantha. I've had maranthas before, but I've only seen them really in hanging baskets. I might find like a whole section in my home where I'll have like higher humidity and like have a humidifier running at all times. This is a beautiful Alocasia cuculata, and then we have a bunch of polka dot plants. Those are really cute. I just haven't been able to grow a polka dot plant long term. I feel like those are more like annuals because they end up getting very, very leggy. You just let me know in the comments if you've had one for years. Let me know how their growth is and how big they really get. And then we have a philodendron white wizard for $34.99. Look at that variegation there. This is one, if I were in the market for one of those philodendron white wizard, I would pick one up. Well, let's take a look at these Alocasia cuculata. Very beautiful plant. again, and it's only for $14.99, so that's really not bad for that size and lush of a plant. There's several alocasia in there. I like the black velvety leaves. I also like alocasia black velvet. I wish I could give me like an alocasia black pink velvet, that variegated alocasia, but it's like $900 or like $1,000 for just like a very small one. So I'm gonna have to wait a while for that. We have another golden pothos right over here, and these large anthurium, these are $24.99, and they actually, Ruibals has several locations, and they actually have locations where they have different varieties of them, like different colors. Like this one's just a typical red ones, but there's some that I've seen were variegated, and actually I'm in the hunt for that. We have some nice white ones right here. I find the white ones really cool because sometimes, like you can see, they have some like lime green or just a green type of bloom. We're going to go ahead and look at these pothos. If you don't have a pothos in your collection, you should definitely do that, especially if you're starting your houseplant journey. And speaking of pothos, I'm just going to pan over here. So this is part of the Teruno World Japanese pothos series. This is the Epipremnum Arium Godzilla, or what you would call the Shangri-La pothos. This one is the one that looks like spinach. It's like a curly type looking thing, but I know that it is also known as pothos Godzilla, or Godzilla pothos. And then we have a bunch of golden pothos, but as you can see, these are huge hanging baskets. I kind of want to get one of these what is it, Godzilla pothos, but the problem is the price is still a little high. I mean, I wouldn't say high. $99 for that isn't bad considering it is a much slower grower, but we'll see what if the prices continue to go down as time passes by. But you know, you can see on the right hand side there are a bunch of golden pothos. I would say they're trailing down to about 6 feet, and these plants are $44.99. These hanging baskets are $44.99, so that's not really bad. And then we have some cyclamen. I love the blooms. I was talking to somebody at the nursery, and they say that, you know, you can keep them alive for quite a bit, but they really do require a lot of light, and they really don't like very hot temperatures. In Texas, it's 100+ degrees in the summer, so that's just not going to work out for me. But look at these beautiful hanging baskets. I just want to highlight that even though these are common you know, golden pothos, you could see that there's still a lot of joy that you can get from that. And then I love that this place also carries other hanging baskets. Like we have a spider plant right there. We have some Hydra helix, you know, that's my favorite plant right there. This is a beautiful variegated ginger. So the thing about variegated ginger is it's just like a Hydra helix. Some people think that you can grow those indoors, but they really prefer outdoors because they end up getting spider mites. I love the variegation, but unfortunately, I've tried it twice where I've gotten a size that big, try to grow it in my home, and it just didn't work out. But outdoors, they do just fine. Look at this. We have some larger specimens right over here. We have some fern right over there, and then more hanging baskets. This is a beautiful, cute looking fern. I don't have any ferns in my collection. I used to have a maidenhair fern, but I ended up killing it just because, you know, you got to think about the watering. I think I might have overwatered it, and then also the humidity. My house tends to be a little hot, and it's not as humid. So again, for anybody who's watching my videos and starting plant blogging, like for instance, this Hydra helix, it just requires a lot of care. Please really consider what your lighting conditions are, the humidity levels of your space, and the overall space you have for your plants. Anyways, look at the blooms of these cyclamen, and then as I pan out, this is just stunning to be able to look at a plant nursery like this. You can get hanging baskets. You can get, you know, blooming flowers. There's a bunch of hanging Tradescanthia right over here. I've bought a hanging basket of Tradescanthia, but the problem with Tradescanthia is they end up getting leggy, and then you just have to cut them up and propagate them again. But look at the cyclamen alongside with the hanging baskets of pothos. Like, I would love to have a large home where I just had like a whole room of hanging baskets. If there's anybody who knows how to hang a hanging basket in a home where you don't have to drill holes, what kind of fixture I could do or attach, please let me know, because I really don't, that's the reason why I don't want to add hanging baskets from home because I don't want to like drill a bunch of holes in my ceiling. Anyways, we are going to be looking at some more plants right over here. In the back corner, we have some birds of paradise, more hanging baskets, different kinds of hanging baskets right over here. I believe most of them are $44.99, so that's not a bad price for the amount of foliage that you're getting and the amount of trailing. I mean, that's the point, right? If you got a hanging basket, you want your plant to trail. And we have some Ficus lyrata trees right over here. We have a Ficus elastica ruby right over here. I love the variegation. And then we have a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma right over here on a trellis. That's really cool. Love that. I used to have one. I am in the hunt for a variegated version. And then we have some palms right over here. I like palms. Then again, you need to have a lot of highlight for them, and I don't have that in my space at the moment. But you can see, I'm glad that there's not a lot of people shopping today as I blog this, so you can just see the sheer beauty of all of these plants. There is an inside nursery too where you'll see a lot of like rare plants and stuff. That's going to be part 2, but I just wanted to go show you what they have so far here for these large specimens. Look at this beautiful Ficus lyrata tree. Very healthy looking. I would buy my Ficus lyrata though at Plant Keeper Inc. in Dallas, but the prices here, as I show you, are fair for these developed plants. And then here we have a Ficus elastica altissima. Look at the beautiful variegation of this ficus. This is one ficus I would end up adding this year to my collection. I love Ficus elastica. They're actually easy, even though a lot of people say they need a lot of highlight, but I actually grow them in full direct sun out in my front porch in Texas. They've been able to withstand 100-degree weather. And these are beautiful. Can somebody please give me the plant ID for this? I saw this at Plant Keeper Inc. Look at this. They remind me of like ginkgo trees. And I will say I also love Japanese maples and ginkgo trees. So that'll be more content that I'm going to add to my plant channel. And then we have some Ripsalis palm. That's beautiful. And we have some more palms right over here. Do any of you guys actually grow palms in your plant collection or your homes? If you do, please leave in the comments and let me know how they've grown for you, what you like about them, what kind of pests you've had to deal with if you've had to. And then these are some beautiful cyclamen red blooms. And we have this really cool little mini red truck that says Ruibals with a bunch of different aroids. I think that's really cool. It's like a mini truck that's kind of showing a delivery or something, or that's what I'm interpreting this little setup. But that's a really cool truck that they have over here. Definitely a great place to do photo ops. And I will say this Ruibals location tends to have a lot of like plant influencers or people who like to just have like a photo shoot, and I don't blame them. This is a place where you would want to take photo shoots. I mean, look at the hanging baskets. Look at this huge Monstera Thai constellation. I believe I saw the price tag for this one. This one is for $1,299 or $1,399, and look at how huge the leaves are. I would say the leaves are about 4.5 feet in width and probably 7 feet in length. So that's just amazing. And it's like if I'm actually walking underneath it, look at the canopy of it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful variegation. And I see that they've cut up some of the highly variegated leaves that might have crisped. So that's one thing. If you guys didn't know, if you have some variegated plants that have some browning, or just plants that have some browning, it is okay to take a sterilized pair of scissors and just cut away the brown spots. And then there you go. Your plant looks a little bit better. But yeah, this is a beautiful Monstera Thai constellation. Mine is about that size actually, so I will feature that in another video. But we have some more palms right here. I love the cordyline plants right over here. That's pretty cool, absolutely gorgeous. I think it's amazing that we have these types of plants. That one over there, the green one, is the kiwi. My grandmother actually grows cordyline. She's been able to grow them indoors without getting spider mites. So I don't know how she gets away with it, but cordyline, or what they call tea plants, are beautiful as well. I would love to be able to grow those, but they're really more of like a porch plant or outdoor plant. This is a really cool Dieffenbachia right over here. I don't know the plant ID, but it's $47.99. That's a really nice Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachia remind me of Aglaonema. They have this same similar growth patterns, but the difference is Aglaonema can tolerate lower light conditions versus Dieffenbachia, they need high light, otherwise it gets super leggy. And right over here we have some Sansevieria. And then at this little truck, it's really cute, is a bunch of Aroids, some assorted Aroids on this truck. And I just want to revisit this Monstera leaf. It's absolutely massive and the variegation is great. And we are going to pan out right over here to see that there are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Aglaonema Silver Bay. I know it's a common house plant. A lot of people find Aglaonema, I guess, underrated, or at least I feel like they're underrated. A lot of people don't have them in their collections, but I really think that is an awesome plant to have in your collection. And here's another Aglaonema here. I think this is an Aglaonema ruby for $39.99. That's not bad. Look at that beautiful pink stems. Beautiful. And then we have some Spathiphyllum on the side, and then this really cool poinsettia. So I was thinking about growing some poinsettia after the holidays, just to see if I can grow them as houseplants. There was a variegated one, and then you can see that Ruibals has a lot of mature Thai constellations. I think these are beautiful. They're priced fairly. We have actually a bigger philodendron ring of fire. I saw a bunch of those in Kroger's not too long ago. I hope you guys like the first part of this Ruibal series. I'm going to be taking you to the inside of the actual nursery as well, where you'll see a bunch of great plant styling. It's super inspiring. So tune in to the next part. Part 2 is coming up next. Thank you for watching.